Song is about getting someone to open up and trust you. We were referring to none other than multi-talented singer and songwriter Christian Heath, who's just released his latest single titled Because of You. He joins us now in studio to tell us all about his latest project. It's great to have you in studio. Thank you so much for coming. I love the all black.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's talk about the years in between since the group, the band split up, and what that process and journey to becoming the solo artist that you are today was like.
Well, you know, I started as a solo artist originally, and then I met up with the band boys and we formed the band. Traveled to Los Angeles, went to the US, recorded with some amazing producers that's out there, and then basically I think it was a realization being in the US and how the industry works and how strong the industry is and competitive it is, that the band split up, and I just basically went back to my roots from when I originally moved to Johannesburg.
And talk to us about just some of those lessons that you learned when you got out of the South African comfort zone, so to speak, and go in other countries to see how things are done and how the industry works on a broader scale. What are some of the key lessons that came out for you?
It's highly competitive. It's literally a religion. I mean, in Los Angeles, everyone is about the hustle. Everyone is about putting out new music continuously all the time. It's probably, in my opinion, one of the most hardest industries to be in. And if you don't have basically a hard shoulder, or if you get continuously no's. So it's very difficult, the industry, and I mean that's one thing that we did learn in the realization with all the band members. I think they were quite shocked to see how people act and how it is. I mean, the Twitter, the Instagram, social media is a big facet for it. So it was definitely a big eye-opener coming back to South Africa. Yeah.
And just for you personally, going back to basics, basically, you know, continuing being the solo artist that you originally were, what's that been like for you? Was it much of a tough adjustment at all, or did it just sort of was like riding a bike again, where you just continued from where you left off?
Yeah. Look, I mean, when I first did my first album called Breaking Ground, there was a lot of passion put into that album. And coming back and breaking up from the band, I kind of went back to the roots of just writing what I love to write, writing what I enjoy writing about. So it was basically just climbing back on the bandwagon and just going back to what I originally wrote about. With the band, we kind of moved away from what I enjoyed writing about. We were moving into a market that was more underground and harder rock. That was what it was about. And now coming back doing my solo stuff, it's back to pop and it's back to music, which I think is real. And explains what I'm about, and I can just feel the music a lot more, especially when I perform.
All right, let's talk about your EP titled One. Who did you work with then? Just the inspiration behind
One.
that.
I actually worked with Song Award winning producer Mark Beeling, and I worked with a rapper by the name of Infidelics. Now, he's a street rapper originally from Europe, originally from the US, sorry, who's moved to Europe. And his whole thing was to go to all the streets all over Germany, Berlin, Europe, and actually just perform to the public. Wow. That's kind of what he was about. And he came on board with the One World song. We formed a wonderful campaign called Global Unite, which was about world peace. I joined up with a fantastic lady by the name of Anne Kleinans, who is the founder and the CEO of this campaign, and she's been driving it. So, that was basically One World song. It was literally just about uniting everyone.
And the single Because of You, what's the inspiration and meaning behind that?
Well, you know, I've challenged myself with the new stuff, with everything that I'm writing now, and I spoke to Mark and I was like, we got to do something that's completely out of my comfort zone. I have to clean up the rough voice because I have a natural rough voice. And the song was what the song's about is basically like it's a trust between the two, and it took a very long time to write this song because I've really kind of put it, with this new album that I'm doing, I've really put it out to Mark, who's producing the album, that I want to challenge myself from a vocal point of view and from a writing point of view, so that when people listen to it, you know, people can connect with it.
All right, so you have a few live performances that are upcoming. People can catch you there. Won't you quickly just take us through where you'll be and how people can get more information if they want to see you perform?
Okay, fantastic. So I've got 2 shows up in Joburg in June. 2nd of June will be at the Rusty Hook. There's a big festival happening there, as well as the 14th of June, which will be at a new place called Josie Show Bar. And then I'll be going down to the Eastern Cape, to East London, and to Port Elizabeth on the 7th and 8th of June, which I'm I'm really looking forward to, because I've had a few singles that have charted on the I'll Go FM charts and that. Yes.
And does that put any added pressure on you to, you know, for your album to be a success and for your EP to be a success?
No, you know, it's my Eastern Cape is where I'm from.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, you know. I think people understand that it's where I come from. It's what I write about. There is no peer pressure. I'm just looking forward to perform. That's all I want to do. I've found a new, let's say, inspiration and love for singing again. That's it. I've really started enjoying my singing again, because I went through a phase where I actually lost a bit of the music industry and I lost the passion to sing. But I've come back, and I'm looking forward to these shows, and I've really put a lot of effort into it.
Oh, Christian, tell you what, all the best. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you so much, Pearl.
A multi-talented singer and songwriter, Christian Heath, speaking to us about his brand new EP and a single titled Because of You. Now, the single sees Heath depart from his kind of usual sound, but he embraces his soulful pop side. And of course, you can connect with him on various social media platforms to check out where he'll be performing over the course of the year.